Hi, everyone. So this is Cooking with Kathy. And as we know, Kathy's not much of a cook. But I was asked this week, today we talked about, well, in the carnivore support group, which I have at noon, it's free, on Zoom, we talked about fasting. And I also had somebody that contacted me this week to ask about fasting. So what the person contacting me was asking about was the fat bombs. Now, I haven't done fat bombs in years, and I know when I did them before, I really wasn't doing it ketogenically. In other words, higher fat, lower the protein to get the ketones up. So I would eat the fat, but I was eating the protein too. Well, you can't do both because you'll just gain weight. So if you're going to go high fat, even for a fat fast, if you want to do something like that, then you just can't have really high protein that day, or just do just fat. If I'm doing just fat as a fast, then what I would do would be beef fat trimmings. Cut them up small, fry them in a pan, put them in an air fryer a few minutes, and that would be about it. Also, I'm in a ketogenic woman's group, and she is doing omega-3 fasts or omega-3 challenges every Monday. So I'm like, okay, well, that's a good idea too. So I did do that this week. And what I did for that was sardines fried in bacon fat, which I think the sardine fast, the 72-hour sardine fast, was first started, that I know of anyway, by Dr. Boz. And I've done that as well with fabulous results. I know Insulin IQ this month, in their 90-day Insulin IQ course, they're talking about fasting. So right now, there's a lot of conversation going on about fasting. I was in Lisa Weideman's before, Dr. Lisa Weideman, carnivore, and she also talked about fasting. I was with Jeff DePropolis this week. We touched on talking about fasting, and I know he does, as a part of his cancer treatment, his metabolic therapy, he does fasting. So there's a lot of benefits spiritually. I used to do a lot of fasting. You know, it's a biblical principle that your health will spring forth speedily as you fast. Interesting that we're now discovering things that were hidden in the Word of God all the way along, but we didn't see them. Kelly's group too, Kelly Hogan. So in Kelly's group, she also talks about having metabolic resets, which basically is a fast. Whether you're going to fast with just water, whether you're going to do an egg fast, which would be 1 egg and 1 butter, have however many you're going to have, at least 6 a day, eggs, or sardine fast, eat when you're hungry. You can have as many sardine cans as you want in a day. I usually ate maybe about 5 or 6, and I had 2 tablespoons of bacon fat because I fried it with each one, with each can. But today, what I'm going to do, if I can find what I was looking for. Oh, there it is. Okay. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a fat bomb. So this fat bomb, you would have just kind of maybe on a fat fast day, or maybe just because you want to increase your ketones and you want to reduce on the calories that you're having through protein. I mean, if you're eating just protein, sometimes that can be an issue, because for me, I'll just eat way too much. I mean, I can eat lots of protein. So I'm going to take some cream cheese, half of a block, and I'm going to take, let's get the English side. I'm in Canada, so we have French and English, although maybe I should show the French side. Not that I probably would say it properly, even though I studied French for 5 years. Like, yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it. So anyway, I'm taking butter. I'm taking 1 stick of butter to half a package of cream cheese. So I'm going to put this down for now so that you can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can get this positioned well. Move my coffee filters out of the way. All right, it's fair anyway. All right, so let's put the cream cheese in here. 1, the butter in here, And it's kind of softened. I'll just kind of throw that in there. Like I said, this cooking with Kathy, it's real here. This is real. Also sticky. Rinse off my fingers. I know, you fancy cooks know how to do this properly. I'm going to throw in vanilla just because it actually tastes good and I like vanilla. And I find that if you're adding any kind of flavoring and there's a high fat thing that you need a lot of flavoring for that. Next thing I'm going to do, I'll throw it in the microwave just for a second, just to melt it, because I'm going to want to whip it up. And in my Ninja here, I'm going to want to whip it up. And then I'm going to pour it into molds. So I have different kinds of silicone molds. Today I'm going to use these. To put it into the mold, I'm going to try a tablespoon, or I may try just pouring it and then scraping it out. We'll see how that goes. Let's get these things out of the way. Sometimes I throw my, the boxes on the floor because the cats love playing with boxes. Any kind of a box. Whoops, that's my microwave telling me, okay, enough of this. Oh, that's what that is. All right. No problem. Real life here. Because it just exploded in there. Okay, so now I'm going to take the top of this, put it on my Ninja. Clean the microwave later. I left it in just a bit too long. Because I just want it, really softened. Not really explosive, but I got explosive, so it'll be fine. No worries. Whip her up. Okay. All it takes is a second or two. That's probably about all it takes, really. It's just a matter of mixing it up. I know I'm messy. My mother used to call me Messy Betsy because I made messes everywhere I go. I still make messes. The difference now is that I clean them up. My cats make messes too. They like to redecorate. Doesn't matter where I put something, they decide it doesn't belong there. They put it somewhere else. I'm like, what is that? Cats that are home decorators? I don't really know. Let's move that out of the way. So I'll put them into the silicone mold. I just want to, for curiosity's sake, see how much each one holds. Because generally with the fat bomb, I'm going to have probably about I don't know, usually a tablespoon per fat bomb. But I may go with 2 tablespoons because I think I have enough to do that. I think that's what's going to happen here. All right. I know all you chefs are watching me saying, I don't know why you're using that spatula. Or you could do it a better way. And if you have a better way that I can do this, put it in the comments. I'll try to read it. No guarantees, though. So about half full seems to be about a tablespoon. And then about full seems to be 2 tablespoons. So that's what we'll do. Something like that. I'm not one that really measures anything. I just kind of go by sight. It is what it is. And I know some are very, very careful, and some need to be very, very careful. But I'm not overly concerned about that. Although I do track my macros, I just don't track super close. That's all. And the reason I track is because I can throw myself off very easily, especially with certain things, like meat. You'd be surprised. Or if I was eating meat with the fat, like a lot of it. But I'm trying to keep the meat down to just 4 ounces per meal. And I have, 2 to 3 meals, really. Just depends on the day. Today, what did I have? I had 2 slices bacon at breakfast. Okay, I had 2 tablespoons of, 1 tablespoon bacon fat, 2 slices of bacon that were crisped up. I always keep them in the freezer. I'll show you some that I have in the freezer. So in the freezer, I just keep them in a bag, my bacon, and then I can do it quickly in the morning. That's one way I do things. And then this one I've showed before. The other bag that I have in here that has these, and they're real quick. I make them up into little pods so that I can throw them into the frying pan and just cook them up. Throw in an egg if you want. And then you've got really quick, really quick breakfast. So here, I'll take this, put it in the freezer, and then when it's done, take it out. Let me find a spot in the freezer. Oh, there's a lot of tricky things to do here. Now, I did do some earlier. I'm going to clean up this mess. It's just not very pleasant. I'm going to worry about that later. Okay. I did do some earlier. I've got this one and this one in silicone molds. So it's kind of nice when you have fancy silicone molds, right? Because then you can, just kind of play with them a bit and make cute ones. So these are cream cheese and butter fat bombs. Let's pop out a heart. See if it's frozen. Yeah, sort of frozen. There's a frozen one. We'll call it that. And I've got one of these. Oh, it's going to fall apart too. It's not quite frozen. And then one of these, and it's not quite frozen either. When they're frozen, they'll pop out well. Yeah, it's not really quite frozen. Oh well. This one maybe because it's thinner. So this one, it's kind of cute because it looks like a chocolate bar. Look at this side. Isn't that cool? So on this one, you could just break off a piece if you wanted to. See, again, it's not frozen all the way. If it was, it would break well, and then you could eat it. Tastes just as good. It still has the fat in it, which is what you're wanting, right? There's a little piece. It's very good. Now, if you're a keto, you might want to add sweetener. I try to avoid sweetener. Not that I'm a purist. Sometimes there's some sweetener in and different things. It tastes good just like that. I also added salt. I can taste the salt in the first one that I didn't do this time. That's a good idea because it just adds to your electrolytes. And I use Relight or I use LMNT, either one for my salts. And there I do use the flavored ones just because I like them. And I'll show you something else that I did, or I'm doing. It's still in process too. It's not quite done. I'll throw that back up there. Throw that one back into an upside down heart. Okay, that's good. We're doing good here. Sure we are. Are you counting the calories and the fat? It isn't really the fat that matters. Fat barely raises insulin. Protein, a little bit. So if you're eating just, meat, fatty meat, you'd probably be okay, depending how insulin resistant you are. It's the carbohydrates that really raise the insulin. And then you wind up having a higher resting basal insulin. And that's what stores fat. So everybody says, oh, I want to lose weight. Yeah, of course you want to lose weight, but you don't want to lose just fat. It's just weight. You want to lose fat off your body, right? Excess fat, especially if it's visceral fat, the fat that's in your gut. So the other thing that I made, and I got this idea from Maria Emmerich, these molds. I saw her doing something with them, and I don't remember exactly what it was, creamsicles or something. And I thought, isn't that cool? So here, I'm just taking the electrolytes, and these are the lemon ones. Lemon lime, I think it is, from Relight. Not quite sure. I've got it right here. These. And it's a really good thing to have in the summer. So when I have any kind of liquid, I really don't want to be having any kind of calories with that. I try to keep them out of the equation So I just have the liquid. So if I am drinking coffee, it's very, very weak decaf and no cream, just black. And basically, that's what I do. So if you're thinking of doing a fast of any kind, whether it's for a reset day, whether you want to do a little bit longer for a 3-day sardine or whatever it is, or maybe longer than that, or you want to go water and do rolling 48s like in Steak and Butter Gang, that's fine too. Whatever it is that you want to do, and give it a try. My recommendation is just get fat adapted first. So focus on having enough fatty meat. And a good place to start that, if you've never ever done a carnivore diet, is Dr. Berry's beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and you can throw in some fish in there if you want. Beef, butter, bacon, eggs. And if you're choosing fish, choose the small ones because they have less toxins in them. Okay? Bye for now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.